Well, welcome to my Dartford. My name's Julian. This is my house. It's built in 1934, along with others in the street of very similar area. This is called the Fleet Estate. Now that's my camper van. She's called Wilma and is the subject of my written blog. We're going to go on a little bit of a walk now. I'll try and show you some of the areas in which I live. We're now walking down Prince's Road, which at one point was the Dartford bypass, in a day when this was the main road taking what's now the A2 down to Rochester and Dover. As you can see, it's named after the Prince of Wales in 1934, who would have become Edward VIII for a short period of time. You see down there is one of the bus stops for the fast track route. The whole idea of it being, I think they wanted to put a tramway in but couldn't quite afford it, but they managed to get a dedicated bus route that joins one of the estates in North Dartford down to the town centre, then comes up this road here to go to the hospital, which we're going to see in a minute, then on to Bluewater and eventually on to Gravesend. These trees are absolutely gorgeous this time of year. Most of the cypress, maples, a few copper beech. It's traditional British hedging trees, really. You get a lot of buses around here at the moment. That was a 96. They came up here, but there you go, that's life. 96 Dorset Village. There's a lovely view from up here. I've always been rather fond of this walk. Looking over in that direction, sometimes see Canary Wharf and the Shard. And then behind me here, see Darenth Park Hospital in all its glory. My two grandchildren were both born there. So I go there not infrequently as a man of a certain age. You'll probably hear that, but I do find it a little bit tricky to walk and talk at the same time because my lung capacity is a bit reduced. So I'm going to see them up there, and up there for trigger finger and all sorts of the ailments of old age. It was built on the site of a former psychiatric hospital. It was Darenth Park Hospital at the time. Nicholas Pevsner, in his Buildings of Britain, kind of was very impressed by it as a piece of architecture, but that, like all the grim mental hospitals of the past, kind of time expired. But the land got repurposed. All of this area used to be part of the asylum, as it was first built as. The notion being that you got people out of London to come and live in the country, which would make them be much better. This area used to be the cricket pitch. I used to have matches between the staff and patients, as it was. It was built, I think it was 1999, thereabouts. All these houses were built behind me, which helped fund hospital, although it was built on that kind of lease arrangement. Whatever the economics of it, at least it allowed the thing to get built, which was desperate. It's now, of course, it's outgrown capacity again, so they are under pressure. There used to be a farm associated with it as well, which, going beyond the cricket pitch, we enter into the farmland, which you'll see what's been made of it. Most of it has been turned into a country park, which, thanks to John Prescott and the Labour government of the 1990s, Tony Blair government, got donated to the people of Dartford as a recreational area, country park, reshaped and renovated by Groundwork Trust. Did a rather good job of it. Now, I know quite a lot about this because at the time, our Rosie, God bless her memory, was the cabinet member in charge of culture and leisure. So, as the money was coming in, she was working with the officers to try and get it spent in the best way for local people. I have to say, I think she did a rather good job. Morning. Very popular with dog walkers, this area. And when we had a dog, little Yorkie, he used to love coming up here, sniffing every hedgerow. Just behind those houses is the stables, which is the old hospital farm buildings. I don't know whether you can see, but up in that tree there, there's a couple of crows. Let me look. Just sat there watching what's going on. And sounds like there's a very cross blackbird in the bushes there, and a magpie. It's kind of quite good for bird watching up here. This is absolutely glorious. Before I show you the view, I'm going to show you this bench. Which that's Arthur and Dorothy Harris in loving memory, and their dog Smirnoff, which I think is an absolutely fabulous name for a dog. But you can see the fields that were originally part of the hospital have been subdivided up with these wooden fences, and the horses come and graze here. All of those hedgerow trees, and they were planted by Groundwork back in the day. And on the horizon there's some woods over near Wilmington. I'm pretty sure that looks like an Iron Age earthwork that's poking up between the trees there. The smells in this area are kind of quite interesting. Some of those smells of lavender. There are lavender fields further upriver around Wellingston, but I think it's just the smell of foliage. Very nice. Just coming down now into one of the two cemeteries that's in the park. Dates back to the days of the psychiatric hospital, mental hospital before that, asylum before that, Wife Joseph Tim died 1898, aged 28 years. Quite young, really. A tender plant so young and fair, nipped in the bud by a cruel disease, called that heavenly home above to flower in beauty and in love. Quite a nice inscription. Yeah, so that's the hospital. That area over there behind me in the corner, come the spring, it's just full of primroses, absolutely gorgeous. Well, let's see what's going on. I hear more voices. So I just had a little chat with a lady and her mum who come over to look at the inscriptions, trying to work out that she said she thought the people had died of smallpox. I'm not sure. I know there was a smallpox hospital over on the marshes back in the day. But, she might be right, who knows. Little walking group out. Morning all. And this part's the carriage drive, which is rather gorgeous. At the chestnut trees on the right hand side there. You can see all the leaves have now fallen on the floor. The trees behind mostly field maple, I think they're nice and orange. And if you look at there, carriage drive goes on. Eventually it comes out at the farm that I mentioned earlier. These steps into the woodland, at which point I will be quite breathless, I think. Mistletoe up in that tree there. Get that very much in northern France. Driving along seeing the mistletoe tree. There's a bit more over there. Up the road there. There we go. Yes, 6 times magnification. And there's a little row of what we once farm cottages along there. Just, and then at the back of it is the Fleet Estate. So all the traffic going down to the coast. And there's the flyover, which 15 years ago to try and improve some of the transport links from the Channel ports to the Darenth Tunnel. One of the things about coming up here is you get to chat to people, particularly those that are walking their dogs. Well, there's another one coming out, so say hello. Good morning.
Morning. All right.
I've just been chatting with another chap who's just into retirement, and that's the thing. Once you get into your 70s, you kind of start chatting to people, and it's all about comparing ailments in the end. One of the things they did when they laid this out is they, between these two rows, they established an orchard which is full of old breeds of apples and pears, damsons I think they've got, plums. I think there's even one or two hazelnut trees in there. Apparently you're welcome to take some of the apples out. That being said, yeah, it looks like the budget's been cut back because the trees haven't been. So the pruning regime is a bit out of date. I think one or two of them might even be bullis trees. I don't know what the difference between a bullis and a damson is, but clearly they've got different names, so they must be different. I think one's a bit sweeter than the other. I know that the damsons occasionally, there are lots of damson bushes around. I've used to collect them and can make chutney out of them. We are now in the other cemetery, complete with the war memorial here. Mostly, presumably all staff from the hospital. See, there's a nice new, since we just passed Remembrance Day yesterday, nice new wreath on there. A nice little bench up the back there, sitting, particularly in summer, it's nice to be able to sit there and think your thoughts. Oh, got angry blackbird again. I think it's time we went back up the hill. I might not be able to talk doing that because I don't think I'll have the wind for it. There's something about a road that's covered in autumn leaves like this. Absolutely gorgeous. Every season has its delights. And autumn leaves are the ones here. Oh, looks like we've got some plane trees somewhere. Oh yes. Now, the sculpture's called Breaking the Mould. It's the Changing Places project for the millennium. Designed by Andrew McKeown. Hello again. You're a bit quicker than I am. This is another bit of the old hospital here. Again, with some rather nice autumn trees in it. When you get the notion that here, it's a bit of a palimpsest. It's what medieval monks used to scrape the vellum back and then to write new stuff on the top. But you could still get the old writing bleeding through. And this is a little bit of the old park, kind of bleeding through. Up there's a little kind of, which is probably an ornamental garden. But, and then there's this one here, which is 3 ash trees that are weeping ashes. Weeping willows we're kind of quite familiar with, but a weeping ash is something special. Looking out over here, this field up toward just before those houses there is an Anglo-Saxon cemetery which they did a little bit of digging and found a thing called the Darenth Park. It dates to about 450. Looking at them kind of date back to the days of the old asylum. Certainly these ones here do. That's it, signing off for the time being. See where the next one takes us.